Okay, so the Liverking got outed for using steroids. So this one's really tough for me because I wanted to believe the Liverking. I really did. I really didn't think he was natural because of his physique, but at the same time, I'm a big dude and I've been accused and I've never touched this stuff. So I wanted to believe this guy, and the fact that he eats like no one else does. Who knows? Maybe his physique was that good from eating bone marrow, liver, organs. We don't know because a lot of people don't do that. So like, obviously, like you look at him, especially his earlier stuff from like 6, 7, 8 months ago, like right after he went, well, I guess like a few months into him going online and posting all that stuff, like his body's super juiced. Like even to someone who doesn't even work out, it would be kind of obvious he does steroids. But when he kept denying it and denying it and denying it, I really wanted to believe him. I don't know that I did really, but like I kept going, no, he said he didn't do steroids. He said he didn't do steroids. Let's not judge. I wouldn't want to be judged. I don't like to be judged if people think I'm on juice. I've never touched this stuff. So if someone says they don't do it, I want to believe them. Especially considering it's 2022. Most of these guys are super open about what they take and when they take it and how often they've taken it. And it's super like okay to talk about in the fitness industry. And not a lot of people lie about it anymore. Most people who are on just talk about it, because what's the point of hiding? For the most part, a lot of the guys, it's pretty obvious to anyone who's, you know, in the competitive scene and whatnot. So why did he lie? A lot of people think it's to sell supplements. Obviously, that's part of it, I'm sure. If you watch, I've watched a lot of his videos. I'm not like a #1 fan or anything. I've watched a lot of his stuff. I like it. He is a motivating guy. When I turn on his story, he makes me want to like get out of my chair and go do something. Like he's very motivating, and I like that about him. But why he lied, I think there's 2 reasons why he lied. One is the negative way, the negative aspect of, oh, you want to sell supplements. Okay, that makes sense. You got to be big and ripped, and you want to sell supplements and say it's, you know, yada yada. But I'll give him credit, okay? When he doesn't say his supplements are some miracle drug. He doesn't say that. He doesn't say they're magic. In fact, just like Rich Piana selling his supplements, he actually says eat the liver and bone marrow, but if you can't or don't want to, then you get the supplements. So he did also say, look, eat bone marrow and liver, but if you can't, then you can buy the supplements. He wasn't pushing the supplements like they were some crazy thing that nobody's heard of, that I think people are shitting on him for, and I don't think that's necessarily fair because he didn't push them that way. If you watch a lot of his videos when he's talking about his supplements and eating bone marrow and liver, he says it will change your life, your mentality, your laziness, your energy levels. He doesn't really dwell on the fact that it'll get you super ripped. Obviously, it insinuates it. If he's got his shirt off and he's ripped all the time and that's what he says he eats and does all the time, obviously it insinuates it. But if you go back and you watch, most of the time when he talks about his supplements and this diet, he's talking about the mental aspects of it, depression, energy levels. He's talking about that stuff. He's not just talking about being ripped. Even when questioned, he even says, people come up to me and they say, Liverking, if I eat like this, will I be like you? And he says, no, you won't. I'm built like me. You'll be the best you can be if you eat like this. I'm giving him credit because I think it definitely helps to sell supplements. Obviously, if you're selling supplements in a lifestyle and you're fucking shredded at 45, whatever he is, 45 years old, he's huge and shredded. He's shredded more than most 21, 22-year-old dudes. Yeah, it's going to indirectly sell the supplements for sure. But most of the time I've seen him talking about the supplements, he's talking about energy levels. And he's talking about mental status and health. So I'll give him credit. I don't think it's fully that. I think that it did directly or indirectly help sell, obviously. You got a big dude selling. Obviously, it's going to sell. The #2 reason I think that he lied, I'm pretty sure. I think he lied because he doesn't want the young boys in America that he's motivating and trying to help. He doesn't want them knowing he's on steroids, because he doesn't want them to do them. He wants them to live the lifestyle, and he doesn't want to bring in the fact that he does steroids, not in a malicious way. I truly think that he didn't want to affect the young kids in that way, because he talks about younger kids, and he always talks about, you know, like motivating younger men, and that's honorable. You know, not a lot of people do that, and it would make sense that he doesn't want to talk about steroids and say, no, I haven't done them, to give hope to younger kids. Even though it's a false hope, I don't think it does as much damage as people are saying it does. The thing about lying about it is it's just a bad vibe. You know, like I said earlier, it's 2022. People aren't lying about being on steroids anymore, for the most part. All the guys on TikTok, Instagram, and the fitness industry, most of them who are on, who I've seen and follow, they're totally open about it, or they just don't deny it and they don't lie about it. So when you lie about it, it's just, even if it was for a good reason, it rubs people the wrong way. You can't lie about that stuff, especially when you're in the space. And I've seen multiple people question him on podcasts, and every time you see him, if you go back and watch a podcast where he's like, nope, never done them, it's just a bad vibe. You don't lie about that shit. And I feel like I'm not like offended, or like I don't care that he lied about it, but I feel kind of like what the hell, because I hate the fact that, like, when I first started lifting, I got accused of using steroids from kids who'd never been to a gym before. They weren't into lifting. They didn't even do a sport. These were kids who were just lazy. They're like, oh, you got big so fast. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you in like 3 or 4 years. It's not that fast. So me being accused of using in my past, when I've never used the stuff, never have, never will, kind of sucked, because I put my faith in him being like, you know what? No, like, he's natural, man. Like, I want to believe him, because, you know, like, I'm not in the craziest shape now, but if I get shredded and people think that, it's kind of shitty. So I just put a lot of, like, maybe he's telling the truth, you know, like, his body obviously looked juice. And it looked like, you know, like, when he first came on the scene, his body was super juiced. But lately, I feel like the last few months, he didn't look as juiced. I feel like he maybe took a break or something. Maybe he was trying to not use steroids because he said he didn't afterward. I don't know. I don't really know enough about the subject and what happens. But it looked like he toned down a little bit from when I first saw him on Instagram. But yeah, it just kind of sucks, because I wanted to believe this guy, and I told people, I was like, no, he says he's natural. We don't know, man. Like, who else works out as hard as he does and shows it off every single day? Who's as high energy on his videos and motivates people every day? And who eats organs, liver, bone marrow? Who eats all that shit super strictly while doing that exercise? To me, it was a possibility. You know, like, I was like, maybe he doesn't. Like, let's just say, you know, he keeps saying no. Why would he lie? He doesn't compete in sports or anything. Why would he lie? And just kind of feel like, oh man, like, it was definitely a letdown. I don't even care if people use steroids. Like, if you want to use them, that's cool, man. Use whatever you want. Like, that's your life. I don't care. But when you're a role model for people and you're preaching one thing, and you are about that thing, he is about his lifestyle. That was apparent in the emails as well. He is about that lifestyle. He does eat a couple things he doesn't show on camera, which is a little weird, but he does seem to be about the lifestyle. But when you talk about enhancing your body, you gotta say what you're on, to be honest, especially selling supplements. I think it was half to sell supplements and half because he didn't want younger kids who follow him to think, oh, it's not just the liver, it's the steroids. I think there was some good in it, but that's just what I think. I mean, that's what I hope. I hope it wasn't just to sell supplements, because that's super snake oily and gross. I think he's a motivating guy. So I truly think that he didn't want people thinking he's on steroids, because he didn't want people like losing faith in the you know, the organ eating arena. Because I do think it's a good message, and I do think what he talks about is really good for your health. I started eating liver and bone marrow. It's, you know, it's a good thing to eat. These are healthy components. So I do like the message. I think he does more good than bad, even though he lied about this. And I don't think he apologized in the best way. It seems like he has a big ego in the apology video, and I'm not like hating. It didn't seem like he really addressed why. He kind of like feathered over it and kind of like shoveled it out as a quick video. I don't know. I think he could have apologized better, or at least explained more. He just kind of, he's like, I fucked up. As a man, I'm taking responsibility as a man, and I fucked up. And it's kind of like making it like an ego thing, instead of just being like, look, yeah, I took steroids. I didn't want people knowing I was on steroids because I didn't want them confusing the message. If he said that, it would have probably been better, but like, you know, the ego thing, I don't know. The apology video kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But overall, I don't hate this dude. I'm going to still watch his stuff. He's still super motivating. He still has a good message. He just shouldn't have lied about taking steroids. Just shouldn't have. I understand if it's for the good reason, that he didn't want young kids knowing that. That's understandable. But selling supplements, it's a gray area. I think it's a little of both. I think he knows if he walks around with his shirt off, shredded, selling supplements, that it'll indirectly sell, even if he doesn't say, oh, it's because of my product. Because if you watch, he doesn't say that. He doesn't say, you take my supplements, you're going to be shredded like me. He never really says that. That's what makes me think it's a little bit good in the message. And I like to see like the good in people, and I think that is there because he's a motivating guy at the end of the day, like I said. So I think he just didn't want people to know. He didn't want to discredit his own message about the health and all that, you know. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. Let me know if you think if it was pure malicious or if you think it was actually he had some care about, you know, like the younger generation. I guess we'll never know unless he addresses it a little bit better than his apology video. Overall, I still like the Liverking. I still watch his videos. When I click his videos, you know, good morning primals, it gets me all like, yeah, let's go to the gym. Let's fucking hype, you know. Like, I think him lying about it is shitty, but I don't think it ruined him. I think everything will be fine. It seems like a lot of people are still supportive. It just sucks that he lied to some of his friends. Like Carnivore MD, I guess, was kind of pissed, and he's gonna distance himself. But you know, that happens. If you lie to people, that happens. But let's hope that there was some good in that lying, that, you know, he wanted to do good and not to have younger kids know, because he does have a young audience, you know. So yeah, leave it in the comments. What do you guys think? You think it was purely to sell supplements, or did you think he wanted to just keep it from the younger generation so they didn't get motivated and they didn't blame it, they didn't take away his hard work and all that? Because we know it takes hard work no matter what you're on or not on. It takes hard work to be shredded and to have muscle. Everyone knows that. So yeah, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Just do better next time, Liverking. I think you're a good dude overall, and you motivate people. So just, you know, own it like a man, like you said, like a man. Just own it, and, you know, give us a little better description next time. Otherwise, good shit. And yeah, leave it in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.